how well are we hiring, the quality of hiring, how long does it take for us to onboard people, and how right are they.
Do you think AI can help there?
Today, CVs are made with help of AI, okay? And then AI is helping screen those CVs. You can't say bias, but it's intelligently made and crafted CV that got picked up.
What do you think are other use cases of AI?
We are in that age where we need solutions really fast. How can we not look at 500 CVs to hire that one individual, and how that platform can help us reduce the time of a recruiter. Humans have to oversee and understand whether it's being done right and whether it's delivering the right outcomes and results.
Is there some gut that you have about where this is all going?
We are in the midst of a very interesting journey building AI assistants, HR bots. Do not see AI and technology as something that's going to take away jobs, but it's going to augment your capability to do better.
Using data, making data-backed decisions.
You have to understand the health of your organization, and you can't do that without having people managing.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Close the Loop podcast. Really excited to talk about AI today. I know a lot of HRs have brought up AI in various events, client meetings, to talk about the impact of AI on how we run organizations, how we listen to our people, and how we run businesses. I think really excited to have somebody who I've gotten to know just briefly, and I think is kind of AI native or getting there, Manish Kotwani, who's the global head of HR at C5I. We will be kind of chatting through how they've gone through this journey of using AI in the company, and generally talk about some of the trends that we're seeing. So really excited for this episode, and thanks Manish for joining us.
No, thanks Ryan. I'm excited to be here as well.
Yeah. Maybe just to start, if you can give a little brief of your background, your journey.
Sure. So I head HR for a company which does data analytics with help of AI. It's a company called C5I, stands for Force 5 Intelligence. We do some cutting edge work in the field of analytics, helping organizations make sense of the data that they have, take meaningful decisions with help of data, and better their top lines and bottom lines eventually. So I've been with this company for about 8 years now, and we're doing great.
Awesome. Yeah. And maybe just to give a sense of your career journey prior to this,
Okay.
How did you get here?
So I've been working for the last 25 years, happen to be in HR consulting, having worked on the corporate HR side for firms in technology, ITES, healthcare, investment banking, professional services before I got into analytics and AI. So that's been my journey. I'm a management postgrad from Bajaj, Jamnalal Bajaj, Mumbai. And yep, that's
Cool.
me.
Yeah. No, thanks. Great to have you. I think, yeah, we do see it. HRs like yourself who've kind of done the consulting piece and the industry piece both, and I think that's always been really interesting. Let's jump right in. I think AI is impacting the workforce and how we look at things. We're not the only people talking about this. I think everybody is.
Yeah.
Most recently, I saw this, and folks in the audience might have seen this memo from Toby Lutke, who's the CEO of Shopify,
Yep.
basically saying that we won't be doing any hiring until we have justifications that we've tried using AI for these processes, right? So that's some really strong mandates, I think, coming from the technology sector. What have you seen maybe from your perspective, and can you walk us through maybe this like adoption journey of AI within C5I and the HR team?
So specific to HR, I would say we are yet early adopters, but we've done some stuff already. Firstly, I would say realized the same point that any and everything that you need to do, have you first explored technology? Have you tried making your systems intelligent to be able to help you do the job better, faster, in a more accurate manner? We've been doing that as well. And it's only post that we go out and hire people. But talking about AI in HR at C5Y, we are in midst of a very interesting journey building AI assistants, HR bots, which are built with help of agentic AI. So it's not just a normal bot, but it can go beyond. It does a lot of intuitive assessments as well as responses, besides just giving people an understanding of, hey, what the policy is, and that applies to you, and or to kind of just address a query that you may have. So we've taken on that path, taken the journey. Second, we are using our own internal platform called Discovery. That's also, our way of drinking our own cola and trying to use an augmented analytics platform. Today, any organization or any people organization that doesn't use analytics, I would say it's like a compass without a navigation tool within the same. So you have to understand the health of your organization, and you can't do that without having doing people analytics. So we do that extensively, and now what we've done is we are using this platform called Discovery to augment analytics or AI in the analytics space. So what this will do is help us understand how are we hiring, how much time is it taking us to hire, why, where are we, where are the pitfalls, where are we going wrong, what is our employee turnover looking like, and it goes beyond numbers, helping us with help of text analytics. It also will give you insights on why are you losing talent, where are you losing talent to, what could you do or what can you do to prevent yourself from losing talent. So it's a very interesting way in which the system has been helping us see some meaningful insights for our own decision making.
Yeah.
So that's another thing, and of course we are working on a lot more tools yet in which are yet in production. Maybe I can talk more in due course as we.
We'll get you back on to share. No, I think that's super key and core. I think a lot of teams are figuring out how can we kind of streamline or automate employee queries, and like, can we have basic queries answered? I think this whole HR IS industry has like been moving towards self-serve. Even HRs have been, I would say, sitting behind these platforms, not having to do as much basic frontline answering, which is kind of, I think, turned itself into bots.
Yeah.
Now there's kind of bots backed with AI, right? So I think it's getting even more responsive, communicative, understanding. So it's probably better. Could you maybe walk the audience through the journey of how you guys incepted this product at the company? Like, what were those conversations like? Why did you even feel like this was required?
Yeah.
How did you make the business case? Because I think a lot of folks are sitting there right now today being like, there's ChatGPT, there's custom GPTs, but it seems like a long distance from where we are today to actually implementing.
All right. So I'll tell you, primitive or yesteryears, when we look at human resources and HR business partners, they would be responsible for enabling an employee understand the organization, the business, policies, processes, take on queries, manage grievances, and so on.
Right.
So we said, and there would always be a turnaround time that would be involved in the entire journey. So we said, how can we at least identify things that can be minimized in terms of turnaround time? Today, our AI assistant, HR Genie, can give you responses in fraction of seconds. You have your solution, whether it's a Saturday, Sunday, it's a public holiday, it's 8 a.m. in the morning or 12 midnight. You don't really have to wait for someone to get back. So the turnaround times have reduced significantly as an outcome of that. And plus, look, we are in that age where we need solutions really fast. We don't want to wait endlessly, to have a solution or an answer to a question. Maybe I have a decision to make, and I can take it right now if I have the understanding of what I can do and what is a boundary within which I can operate. So one is, of course, trying to reduce the turnaround time. Second is providing solutions and really fast, and also saving time, for our HR business partners out of their transactional work to do something more strategic for the company.
Makes sense. So it was like a drive to continue making like a more efficient, more responsive HR team, but now you have this amazing solution that helps you do that. Yeah, that makes sense. And then you also talked about, I think, another hot button area, which is analytics in HR. I think lots of HRs are taking time out of work to do degrees in analytics and courses. So I think you hit the nail there. Similarly, like, what did that journey look like for you? Where did you guys start? And maybe you can talk about how the metrics have changed, right? Like, you may have been looking at a small subset of things early on, but now maybe you're looking at much more, right?
Absolutely.
So what did that journey look like from using data, making data-backed decisions as an HR leader?
Sure. I think that journey always begins with what the purpose is of the leadership team and the organization. How important are people, human beings, to the organization? How well can you understand the health of a people organization with help of some of those metrics. So today, when we started the journey many years ago, in fact, we started HR analytics almost 8 years ago at C5I, and it was largely to understand how well are we hiring, the quality of hiring, how long does it take for us to onboard people, and how right are they? What do the employee sentiments look like? What are we hearing? What are we sensing? What kind of employees are leaving the organization? What's really the driver, behind them leaving the company? And so on. And there are many other things, whether you get into the cost metrics, whether you look at compa ratios, you look at how individual A compares to individual B despite having the same skill set, same level of experience, because everybody comes from a different background, right? So how well can you make use of those metrics and those data points for meaningful future-based decision making, for the company? So we started the process long ago, and over the years, those data points have only been increasing. A 7-8 slider deck went into a 35 slider deck, I would say, which is where we realized that it's time that how can we give our executives a summary of what they should know, and they can always double click and look at what is needed, to back up that information in addition. So that's where discovery came into the picture. The executive summaries came in. One can double click and you can look at a lot more data in detailing.
Yeah. I think those are like two really strong initiatives that you guys have run already. And you said you have a couple more things in the pipeline. You might not be able to talk about all of those in detail, but is there some indication that you have? Is there some gut that you have about where this is all going? Like, what do you think is next for HRs? What do you think are other use cases of AI?
So I would say we have also been adding AI in our recruiting stages. And I would say when I say recruiting, it's pre-hire right until once an individual is onboarded and the journey started. So that's phase one that we're trying to address. How can we get smarter in screening? How can we not look at 500 CVs to hire that one individual?
Right.
Can we yet look at 500 CVs going through the mix, but the system helping us understand the top 5 applicants that are screened in a very smart way? We call it Smart Recruit at our end. And how that platform can help us reduce the time of a recruiter to interview 50 people, but they could interview 5 people very meaningfully and get in qualitative candidates put across to stakeholders. So idea is, how can we drive business impact? How can we deliver ROI for our organization, for our customers, for our stakeholders, and truly become a value-added function as opposed to being a transactional function? So in everything across the value stream, we are only trying to eye what part of the process can be not just automated, but how can it be automated intelligently to deliver outcomes, which can lead to an ROI.
Yeah, and something like, recruitment. I think tools like ATSs who kind of have screening logic and these types of things. And we were talking bias earlier. I think lots of people are unhappy with how ATSs maybe screen. How do you think about saying, let's build a new tool that sits on top of the ATS that we have versus let's replace that system altogether with something that's more AI native?
Right.
How would you encourage folks to think about that decision? Because I think a lot of folks are sitting there with some tech stacks for ATS and applicant tracking, but maybe that vendor is not giving the right AI add-on.
Yeah.
How are you guys thinking about
I would say these are yet early times. You can't really rely on a platform unless you really tested it very well, and it's giving you the results that you need. So do make sure that the initial journey with any platform or product is tested very well to make sure you're getting your outcome. Otherwise, today CVs are made with help of AI, okay, and then AI is helping screen those CVs. So you've got the keywords made by AI, and those CVs are getting picked. Now that's where also you can't say bias, but it's intelligently made and crafted CV that got picked up, for an interviewing decision. But what you can really do is your interviewing process with help of that bot. You can make sure that the job description, the competencies are mapped pretty accurately, and the right set of questions are asked, and assessments are done to assess whether the individual is really the right fit. All those keywords mentioned in the CV, has the individual actually worked on those, or was it just for show on the profile? So I think the interviewing skills and the process has to be fairly smart, and until a recruiter, that's why we call human and AI integration to get the right outcome. Now, unless AI could be doing its job, but humans have to oversee and understand whether it's being done right, and whether it's delivering the right outcomes and results.
Yeah, yeah. And I think, as an HR leader, working with a team who maybe has different levels of maturity using these tools, right? What's a good way for folks to get started if they've never really done AI, right? Like never used these tools, never really understood how this can help their workflow. Like where can somebody get started?
My perspective would be very simple. Today, you don't just have to be a technical expert, you've got to be a techno-functional expert. Do you understand your function right? Technology would be simplified. It's like searching and browsing through a website, right? Whether you're working on an ATS tool or any ERP platform, everything is self-explanatory. You can navigate through the system very easily. Systems are built with AI. HR folks may not have to build or program or code in AI, but they have to understand their craft very well. They have to understand the platform and systems, whether they're delivering the kind of outcome very well, and keep the purpose and the end goal in mind. What are they out there to achieve, and what should the system lead them to? That's where enhancements come into the picture, customizations come into the picture, and AI is further augmented to deliver outcomes.
Makes sense. Yeah. We were talking about health and well-being of employees, I think, as a topic maybe we're both passionate about.
Yeah.
Do you think AI can help there?
It can. So look, we have a lot of productivity management tools within our HR systems. They can really track, are people overworking? Are they burnt out? Are they showing the right metrics in terms of performance, in terms of their leave patterns, in terms of their employee satisfaction quotient? The systems keep listening, to employees, right? So there's a lot of correlation that's happening. Whether you take on your employee satisfaction scores, you look at leave patterns, you look at operating or deliverables, and how people are performing on day-to-day, on a day-to-day basis, what their performance ratings look like, what does their career and growth journey look like. An individual who has been getting steady growth and good grades, every 2 years, 3 years, I think is bound to be more healthy, compared to somebody who's been in the same job, having done the same thing for 5 years, 8 years, 10 years, without having a career path. So those are some of the ways and means in which you can keep a check on the professional health, or the social well-being, so to say, because that impacts social well-being, right? In terms of everything else, I think there are enough and more tools, doing health checks, keeping track. We keep doing a lot of programs where stepathon programs, how do we create those subgroups within the organization? They keep competing with each other. How do we build a healthy workforce with help of systems tracking what people are doing? And get there. So yeah, there are various ways in which you can actually keep track of health, mental health, physical health, social health of an employee, and somewhere all of these scores can correlate and come together and provide you kind of a scorecard. Not that we've kind of done this, but it's a great idea. I'm learning from this conversation. I can go back and work on something like that.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think there's a lot of tools in the employee health and well-being space now. Maybe AI or not, but I think more systematic ways of tracking health, tracking physical health, social well-being. And I think you also touched on these social well-being platforms that monitor employee engagement through usage of your own internal systems like Slack and Teams. That seems to be getting super popular nowadays, right?
Well, it's a topic which is yet evolving every day, right? So there are so many more tools, platforms, more initiatives. Today there are so many diagnostic tools, talking about in the healthcare space as well, whereby just doing a retina scan can tell you, what kind of challenges and issues are you likely to have. Taking blood samples and doing a lot of more intelligent tests that go beyond what the regular diagnostic centers do for you.
Yeah.
I think there's so much that can be analyzed,
Totally.
understood, assessed well in advance, and if it's knowledge is power, right? And knowledge comes from having the right data. You got data, you get insights, apply those insights for better decisions,
Yeah.
lead that to outcomes. I think
Totally.
that's the journey.
Yeah, I think one of the things that the journey starts at the report, right?
Yeah.
I think that was the framework that we took. And we said, okay, cool. To get a doctor consult done after, there's some friction, right? The employee needs to make time. They need to kind of go through some booking flow and everything. So we actually said we used Llama for building AI-generated summaries. I mean, if you ever upload a lab test into Llama, it's honestly quite good. Like it's as good as half of the GPs out there, like in terms of a basic summary and what to do next, right?
Okay.
And so that's what we started doing. We started doing AI-generated care summaries. So when somebody gets the PDF, they also get some understanding of it.
Okay.
And obviously, the next steps are not like, it's not prescribing medicine. It's saying go to a doc now or go to a nutritionist and talk about your triglycerides being high, because that's a very key thing for you to work on now, right? As a 36-year-old male, right? Like in India, right? I think that's kind of the way that we've done it. So, and that was a hackathon project for us. I mean, it was something so small when we said, hey, engineers, just try to use AI in different parts of the company. So this pilot we actually did internally, and then we kind of, just like you guys, I think, dog fooded it internally, and then you said Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
It sounds more tasty and nice. But yeah, I think we dog fooded it internally and then ended up doing that. The other really interesting use of AI in employee well-being or just health would be intelligent follow-ups. So like today, if you go consult a doctor, they're not really following up. Like they know, they write on their prescription your medicine course, right? That needs to be 7 days of antibiotics, for example. But nobody after 7 days is checking back in.
All right.
And checking what was the outcome of.
Well, that's a good thing, actually. Preventive healthcare can begin from there. And I have a dentist who would. They don't have a patient management system, but he's got an intelligent EA of sorts or whatever. So they would keep calling you at periodic intervals to say, you're due for your appointment.
That's great.
Or it could be a preventive health check. You don't have to do anything.
That's awesome.
Just come, get your checks done, and you can go.
It feels kind of nice, doesn't it?
Now AI can do that. Tech can do that for you.
Correct.
And make it more structured, make it more timely, and make it more accurate as a process.
Yeah, totally. 100%. I think that's and it's a low-level task for a doctor to do. But it's perfect for AI to do, or a system to do. So
maybe in a country like India where you have so many patients, you don't feel the need for it today. But as the number of doctors are growing, and people have more options too, right? So that could be a great way in differentiating your services compared to another practitioner, medical practitioner.
Yeah, one of the things I think we're really excited to do is, every time somebody claims, we know the hospital, just like I was saying, the hospital and the specialist is there, and the claims MIS, right? It's a dump, like an Excel dump from a TPA. In that, that's actually really interesting information, right? Like your employees, or our employees, they may actually not know which specialist to go to, right? But based on the data that we have, we actually know where people are going. And so just even as simple as saying 80% of your colleagues choose this IVF specialist, like that's huge. Like that's really, it's an interesting set of data that no one really considers in a workplace. And then if you actually tag that with outcomes data, so if we just do a simple outbound calling exercise to say, hey, how was your hospitalization at Apollo with Dr. X, right? And if they're like, it was horrible, I would never want to go back to.
Rate the doctor there and then, and
it's really, it becomes like a really personalized practo that's not paid for by ads.
But then another thing that organizations like yours can really, really help, and they do already, I would say, is understanding the claims history and the medical summaries of not just an individual but a family at large. Okay, and that's where I can really help you understand. If let's say your father had a cardiac issue, what can that mean with the kind of work hours and with the kind of lifestyle and with the kind of demographics and patterns that you depict, whether it's weight, it's height, it's your BMI or certain measures, and what that can do. So can you start doing X, Y, and Z to ensure that you're
Yeah.
Taking good care, of yourself. So something like that can,
I think it's huge. Yeah.
yeah, because every time we go in for a renewal exercise, what happens is we are dumped with so many slide decks, okay, and
Yeah.
we're looking at claim sizes, families, what kind of claims, what kind of hospitalization happened, was maternity the number one, or what kind of surgeries happened, what kind of things led to hospitalization, and hence the claims ratios that we see. But how can we make more intelligent use of similar data to help companies amend their policies, to better suit employee needs in future, and also help employees understand what they should be careful of, and take those preventive measures.
Yeah, and which of these claims were preventable if we did X? Like, there's so many disease categories where we then correlate it with the annual health checkup.
Yeah.
All of us are vitamin D deficient, right?
Yeah.
And so, like, rather than getting a lunch for your team, like literally one company, what they did was they just got vitamin D supplement. Like, they just paid for that, right? It was just so simple. Like, it's so easy. It's like what village healthcare workers do, right? They go door to door and just like give some medicine that everyone needs, right? So yeah, I think, very interesting topic. And we can probably chat for a while.
Sure.
You guys are in Bellevue, right? Washington?
Yeah, we moved from there. Now we are in New Jersey.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Other side.
Yeah, moved from west to east.
Nice.
A lot of customers there, and we got a lot of employees there as well.
On that side of town. Nice. And your guys' founders are based
India.
Okay.
So in fact, a founder recently moved to UAE, but it's a company founded out of India, headquartered out of India, catering to the globe.
Nice. Yeah. Cool. Awesome. I think any last words, I think, for our HR audience on this topic. You've clearly gone through this journey at C5I of actually implementing these systems, of actually doing it. Any kind of final words of wisdom for the audience?
I would say get your purpose right. That's where it all begins. You have enough and more tech platforms, tools to make use of, but then if you're not very clear about the journey you want to take, not just for now, but for a foreseeable future, you're going to get it wrong. It's very important to make sure you have the right data strategy. Quality of data is intact. What you're trying to derive is very clear. You're upskilling yourself and your entire team at periodic intervals. Do not see AI and technology as something that's going to take away jobs, but it's going to augment your capability to do better with time. Do away with the repetitive tasks and leverage technology to help you do more strategic work in due course. So I think that's something which I'd like to leave the audience with a thought.
Yeah, nicely summarized. I think great to meet you, Manish. I think audience probably learned a lot from this podcast, and looking forward to the next one where you share the next 3 or 4 initiatives that you guys build out. But yeah, best of luck to you and the team at C5I, and really, it's lovely to chat.
Thanks to Loop Health, and you guys are doing some great work. Look forward to collaborating with you guys in future.
Appreciate it.
Thanks.
You.